C++ Code Lab. Um, Good evening. Actually, it's evening here. Um, in today's lecture, we'll be writing our first C++ code and C++ program. So, I hope you guys have installed your compliers and Visual Studio because that is exactly what we'll be using today. So, I hope you guys have successfully installed it. And if you have any issue or anything right like that, you can just make comments. Just comment your stuff. Just comment your stuff, or just make sure you comment so I will be able to solve it out for you. I'll do my best to solve it. And like I said, in today's lecture, we'll be writing our first C++ programs, and I'll be taking you through how to start your program. So now, I will actually draw two methods of how we can start and run our programs in the right way, because if you don't do it in the right way, you won't really have access to everything we did. That's everything we did. So now, the first thing we're going to do is to go to the first thing is to go to the folder we created. Remember, we created a folder. Ensure we create a folder. So um so we create this particular folder. If you remember this particular folder, we create this one, but though it was C++ templates template what it says template lecture, but actually we name it to project. So now this is the folder we create. So we are going to create another folder again to write our first programs. This folder we created is, you use this particular folder for configuration, because if you open this folder, you see this VS Code. This is our configuration file. So we need this configuration file in every folder we create, just to configure our programs, because those compiler we configured, they are actually stored in this particular place. So we have to make sure it is known to all C++ programs. So now, before, what we can do is that you have to go outside this part and create a new folder again. And so we're going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it C++ first program. So after that, we click on enter and we open this folder and we copy this particular file. Copy it. After we copy it, we go outside the folder and open first program again, and you paste it there. So now this particular folder here, everything that is actually here. So now we are good. And the most important thing is how to open your Visual Studio. I will show you two methods. The reason is that most of us can make that mistakes, or I just want you to give full attention to this particular words or this particular section. Now, this is what I'm going to do. First thing, I'm going to open these things in two ways. First, I'm going to open my Visual Studio, and after I open my Visual Studio, so I'm going to open this folder again and minimize it. After they minimize, so I'm going to drag this stuff. In the last class, I actually dragged this stuff there. To open this folder, I actually drag and drop. So I'm going to drag it and drop it here. So after I drag and drop, it will show me a particular section. Okay, it show me the folder and good. So now, what's the next thing to do is to check. What I'm going to do is to check if my compliers are intact before I start my code. So I'm going to run all my compliers from GCC to MSVC. Sorry. Now I'm going to click on this particular stuff here, or I can just click on this one here, view, and click on terminal and terminal. So it's gonna show me terminal. So this terminal, I'm gonna check if all my compliers are actually active. So it's gonna take a little bit time. I don't know. It should not take this time, but because I just opened it. Okay, fine. So this is a plus plus minus minus version. So once you type this and type on enter, it's gonna give us, oh sorry, um, I think I made error. I made error. What's this? Forgotten. GCC. Is it GCC or G plus plus minus minus version? I don't know why I'm typing GCC. I'm typing the name of the compiler. Sorry, it is G plus plus. Of course, it is G plus plus. I'm sorry about that. So this GCC is working, which is which is this one here. GCC is working fine. It's giving me the version of the compiler, and the cloud is okay too. It gave me the version of the compiler. So let's take debug mode. Debug gdb version minus minus version a. So I'm gonna check the debug mode. Debug mode. So debug mode is fine. So these two compliers, GCC and cloud, they are good, they are fine. So now let's take the third compiler, which is MSVC. We actually install it or extract from Microsoft Visual Studio. So now let's try and get it. CLEXEXEL. So once we go, it is not recognized. Yeah, it should be strange. If it is strange to you guys, okay, good. But it should not be strange because we have actually talked about this CL. Talk about that. We can actually not open it. It is not recognized by our normal terminal. On the normal terminal, this is our normal terminal. Command prompt. It is not recognized by our normal terminal. It is not recognized from this place. If you type it here, GL, it is not recognized here. But if I should use cloud, it is recognized. The reason is that when we actually configured this compiler to our systems or fix it to the parts for our system's parts. Let me just show you so you don't look so confused. This actually, so this one here, remember when I go to this part here, so this is the this is the same command prompt part, so it does not recognize this particular stuff, and then does not recognize the Microsoft's compiler stuff. This stuff does not recognize this stuff here because it does no parts here. It has nothing to do with this one here. So it's not bad. It's not bad. So what are we going to do to make all our compliers able to understand or to make our Visual Studio to able to allow us to use every compiler we have here? And it is important to use all your compiler. Sometimes it's important as program you have to do the writing. So you don't just okay say okay I have to compile so I'm okay. Sometimes you may need the third compiler and it can just give you the stress again. Though it's not really stressful once you get to know how to use it, so it's not really stressful like that. But first thing you want to show, I will show you how to open the Visual Studio in the right way. So now let's clear this. So if I want to clear the screen, I'll tell you later. So now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to close this one here. Good. So I'll be go to command this side here. I'm going to type cmd. So I'll look for this one there. It said developers command prompt verse for verse 2020. So I'm going to click on this particular one. Make sure you click on this particular one here. So this one actually is for Microsoft Visual Studio that we installed this particular stuff. You remember you installed Visual Studio Code. come on. Yeah, remember when we installed this particular stuff here, this particular stuff, remember it. So once we install it and we install the window, it has already installed the compiler for us. So now it is recognized by this, and this is going to take a little while. Okay, good. Once it brings this for you, fine, and make yours to bring out community, because I told you to download the one of community, because this is paid, or else you end up paying for it if you do not download the one of the community. Fine. What's next is that we are working on this particular folder. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to double click on this particular folder, click on this part here, and copy what is exact, what is here, what is it. Then when you go to this particular command prompt here and press CD and space. CD to navigate. You are trying to that when you go to this particular folder here. So after that you paste it, then you press enter key. So now you are in the folder. You are this particular stuff. This particular stuff is here. So how are we going to know that yes you are actually there? So it's very simple. Just type dir, which means list. It's going to list everything you have in your folder. So now it's you see Visual Studio. This thing is exactly here, and main is here. But norms, only norms. If you still doubt if you are not there, you can just click on create a new folder, create a new folder, and just put something there. Just type nonsense or just do whatever you want, and I'm good. So now I'm going to type dir again, dir. So now this particular thing I typed, it's bring it out for me. This stuff, this is it here. So to be sure that I am actually in the folder, and then I just let me delete this because I don't need it. And now I'm going to type dir again to confirm that it's fine. It's delete. It's clear. So actually press CLS to clear the screen now. CLS is just to clear the terminal, the screen of the terminal. Maybe you have any several stuff. Maybe you use DRL, your stuff is very full. Your terminal is filled up. So you want to clear everything. So you just type CLS. So it clears the terminal. So once you just use it, enters, it's gone. So what I'm actually going to do is that I'm going to open my Visual Studio from this particular stuff here. So now I am sure that I am very sure that I'm in my folder right now. So now let me open my Visual Studio code. So see, you're going to type code, then you're going to type dots or points or full stop, anyone you call it, then enter. So once you press enter, it's going to open the folder for you. So now we are in the folder. This is the folder. So by using the command prompt, it opens the folder for you. And this command prompt, the advantage is that it gives you the access to use every compiler you have in your computer. Or let's say, it gives you access to use all the compilers we actually download, you get. Both the Microsoft Visual Studio compiler, which is MSVC, everything, clown, everything is edited. So let me try and clear section. Then now let me test all my compiler, especially this one of the one we did type first, AXL. Nice, see it's recognized. So I'm gonna do clown to be sure that everything is okay. Though I am sure it is okay, I'm just showing you guys so you guys can be sure that you are actually on the line. C++ minus version. Fine, this is okay too. So the bug which is D and minus version. So everything is okay, intact. So let's clear the screen. Fine, good. So now let's go into our program. Good. You can close this one. You don't need it. Now we are in the folder. I see we are in the folder. See, C++ first programs. We are in the folder already. The folder we create, we are already in the folder because we navigate in the folder and we are already there. And now let's try and understand what we have on the screen here. But firstly, I'm going to delete this thing. Later we understand this. Later we understand it. That's not the right. That's not the first thing you should know first. You should know. And now I'm going to type something on the screen. So I have this simple text on the screen. Hello guys, welcome to C Lab. Fine, that's my usual word. Okay, good. And sorry, now it is on save. You can save it. So save, fine. So now I want to understand what we have here. So this is our first program. You can type anything you feel like, but don't worry. Let's try and understand this one first before you do anything. And you see what is in the first line here. Second line is empty. Third has fourth nothing. Fifth, sixth to this last, which is 10. So every lines of code here to 10 are actually doing something. Even the empty ones. Of course, there's nothing there. Okay, fine. Um, what I'm actually doing, like my aim is to print to the console. I want to print out this particular hello guys, welcome to C++. I want to print it out. So this is the code to print out to the console. So this C out actually means print out. C out means to print to the console. You are printing to the console. That is your aim. But what does this XD means and what does this mean? Fine. This arch include is what we call reprocessor. If you remember, I told you guys that if you want to whenever you run your code, I mean, it doesn't compile straight. It is sent to the compiler, and then compiler converts it and generates machine language, which the CPU understands. Then your code runs. If your compiler doesn't generate machine code, that means your code is probably error or something is wrong. So it must generate a machine code for you. So your code is not sent directly to the computer. No, doesn't understand. Computer does not understand this text you have here. It does not understand every text you have here until the compilers take it and convert it for you. So this is what we call preprocessor. The first thing that happens to your program is that your preprocessor that takes the first action. The preprocessor check every code. Like now, example, this preprocessor, the work of this preprocessor here is to print out and to take inputs. Print out and to take inputs. This I actually stand for to input. If write IXTREM means input. If you write OSTREM means output. But here we are only actually going for output. And how did I know that this is output? How did I know that? So this is actually a very easy way to get it. Like I said, this is a reprocessor. It's a library that have this particular stuff inside. It is all those things here. It is recognized. Without this reprocessor, this stuff is error. If I should clear this reprocessor, just delete it. You will notice there's error. See, there's actually error there. This when it is bringing this kind of red lines, it is error. So meaning that there's error in our code. Meaning that this particular stuff here, it recognizes this. It makes this stuff recognized. It's just like identify. Like now, it actually identifies this C out. So that is the work of that issue. That is the work. Actually, how did I? Sorry. Oh my goodness, I was pasting. How did I know that? This is how I know that. If you hold your control on your keyboard, and like click on this particular stuff here, you're gonna see the code, the entire code. So once you click on it, it opens another slide forward here, which have the codes that we have. So this is the reprocessor, like I said before, compiler reprocessor. So it is the reprocessor. It checks your code, confirm if everything you declared, or it makes everything you declared recognize. Like I declared this one, okay. Now I declared STD C out. Okay, C out. Oh, I recognize C out. But if I type STDEN, I don't know what is STDEN, so that's error. If I type STDGR, I don't know what is GR, I don't recognize you. But he knows STDC because it is declared in his code. It is declared in the reprocessor. It has the library. It has this particular library. So if you should go here and you're going to take through it, and let's try and look at the code, and we are going to check only this C out. We will talk about this later. But the first thing is to understand the C out. So this C out here is found in the code, so it is recognized. It is recognized. Let's just use a very simple example. Example: this is a family man. Okay, sorry. This is a family man which actually have the surname, or the surname of this man is actually written is the name of this guy too. So the family, this is the father and this is the son. So once, maybe let's just say a very simple example. mm, okay, I don't think I need to go there, but I hope you guys understand that this is just like identify. It is this reprocessor that makes this particular C out make recognized by the compiler. So if this stuff is not, if this stuff is there, this is not recognized. So because it has in its code, it has the signature on this code. So on this library here, this, let's just say this is a library. This is a library that has this particular code in it. So I hope you guys understand. So we will understand others later. Let's try and understand the first thing first. And this arch include is just like a trigger. It's triggered what is inside here to call it out. So arch include is just like calling what is inside out. So arch include actually starts as reprocessor, and this starts as library. This stands as reprocessor and this stands as library. So I hope you get me, please. So now, okay. So next thing we're gonna know is what's this one here? Actually, or let's say what's this particular stuff here? This particular lines of code is actually called main function, or let's say it's called function, but it's actually called main function. So function is a block of code that run a specific task. In our program, we're going to be using a lot of functions, but we understand that more about that later. So just sometimes understand that block function is a block of codes, like block of code, like it usually holds more than one code. One, two. Let's say we have another function here. Though you don't need to try and understand it. I just want to use another function for you guys to see. So this is another function. I can make as much as possible, but this function can have a lot of code. Some can write a lot of code. You can put a lot of code there, as long as it is being open. It has these curly braces, open curly braces and close curly braces, so you can actually put your code there as much as you want. So this is a function which actually runs. This is a function actually runs blocks of code, or has a block of code to run a specific task. Maybe you tell the function to go inside. Okay, let's say this function is open door. So you have another function again. Close door. So you have another function again, close door. So this function is open door, this function is close door. So whatever code we be putting here, I don't know how much it's going to get me, but it's going to be open. So the work of this function is going to be opened. So whenever I declare this function, I know that I want to open something, I want to open door. So whenever I called this function, that means I want to open door. Whenever I call this, that means I want to close door. So that is how function work. Function is a function actually holds blocks of code to run a specific task. It holds a blocks of code, more than one code, to run a specific task. But the function of this I'm sorry. The task of this function is to open door, and the task of this one is to close door. So that is how functions work. It holds more than one code to run a specific task. That is function. But this function here is the most different, the most unique function out of your C++ programs. This function actually is the main function of your code. Example, let me just give you a very simple example of this. Assuming you actually have a house, or you have or seen a house, of course you have seen a house before. Let's say the entrance of your door, like the entrance of your house, let's say you have a gate, you have a very big gate, and the entrance of the gate is just like the main gate to every doors you have in your house, in your rooms. So if you actually go in your first your gate, you actually have access to every doors in your room or in your house. So this one, that is how this main function works. It serves as the main point to every programs, every code we types in our code, in our C++ programs. Even if you have thousands of code, they will all begin from this particular part, from this particular code here, from this particular function here. So this function is the most unique, and you can also call it entrance point. Sorry, you can also call it entrance points, like entrance points. You can also call it entrance points, like entrance point to every code. So you can call it entrance point or main function, or main function. So you can call it anything if you like. You can call it main or however. So now you have understand that this is main function, which holds block of code to run a specific task. The task I'm telling this function to run for me is to print this particular hello world to the screen, and to print this particular stuff. Like I'm telling this, sorry, in my function I actually have specific code telling the cout to print out to the screen for me, telling this one to print out to the screen for me. So this xcd is to trigger what is inside here. But most of you guys, you will have noticed that sometimes people using namespace and does not use xcd. Why is that? And it works out well. That one is more easier, and this is more difficult, or this is more stressful. I'll tell you the reason. First thing, if you should remove this particular stuff, it's give you error. It is not recognized because you have already removed the identifier. Like what triggered the code to print to the screen, you have already removed it. Example, let's say using namespace. If I should use namespace, it's going to give you like there's no more error. Even if I remove this one here, no more error. But I won't advise you to code like this. It is a bad way for a beginners or to learn how to code. Even a expert programmer does not even code like this. Because on the norms, if you declare using namespace, meaning that every library we have here, like like this, let me go to this place here as details. So like this particular, every library we have CIN, C out, C, so it's gonna recognize every damn stuff we have there for us at once. And sometimes we might not even need everything. Like it is not advisable because of let's say once we move to advanced lecture, you will get to notice or to understand why this particular stuff is not advisable to use when coding. When we get to use linker, so that one we won't understand that. We won't understand that now. So that one's for the next lecture. Not the next class, so I mean the next lectures actually. So now this is actually, we are not going to use this one because it's bad. So let's use stdc house and stdc house. So this is how you code this stuff. And this, we have what we call return zero. Actually, the reason why we are returning zero is because this function type is what we call int. Int means integer. You're gonna understand that later. But just know that this function is returning zero. Or yes, it's returning zero. And this is zero. The reason why it's returning zero is because this function is an integer type. I won't really explain that now because if I should, it won't collide or go along with what we are meant to learn today. So this is the main function, and it returns zero. Then make sure when you are typing your code, you call your you open your curly braces and make sure it is closed, and make sure every codes, every statement you have, it usually have this particular semicolon. So this semicolon is just like like you are done with your statement. So you must indicate that yes, you are done. Once we remove this semicolon, there's error in our code, meaning that maybe you want to add something to it. That is what the compiler will think. But actually you are done. But you have to add it to it so that the error won't occur. So now let's run our code. So I'm going to click on this particular stuff terminal. I'm going to write run build task. So our code is actually generating a binary file for us. So let's check it. It's going to generate it for you. You're going to notice that. Okay. Save. Still generating. Is it generating? Okay. Let's try and run it again. I'm not sure it's generating it for us. Terminal and build the code. Oh, did we even get this bit? Build with GCC. Sorry, I don't think I even clicked that the other time. So we are building with GCC first. You can actually build with any compiler you feel like. Any one of them will work. They will work fine for you. But let's build with GCC. Just because we are trying to run the false, we are trying to generate the false binary, it's going to take a little while. So now it has generated the binary file for us. And the next thing, I said build finished successfully. So once you don't have error in your code, it gives you successful code, a successful result. Then let's close this one. And the next thing we're going to do is to see what we have in our binary. Now this binary is the one that is sent to the CPU. So now let's send it to the CPU and then let's check what is inside this particular binary. So of course we're gonna go to this particular stuff and view, and then go to terminal here. So to pop up terminal for us. Then we're gonna type what is there. So dot. Remember you're gonna put dot and slash. Then we're gonna type C. Exactly the name of your AXL file. So lab, which is code lab. Mine is code lab. Then I'm going to press enter. So of course it gave us the result. This is the result here. So in my result we have hello guys, welcome to C++ code lab, which is both in the same line and does not look good. It's very rough and unkept. Wow, why is it like this? Good. I'm gonna explain why this is like this. In our code, actually, whenever we are typing this, whenever we're writing our code, whenever we print, like we type this code and we write it this one to this next one here, it's gonna print the way it works in the editor is different from the way it's gonna work on the terminal, because this is the result of your code. Fine. What we actually tell our compiler is that we tell our compiler that I want to print this hello guys to the terminal by sending it to this particular source. So see out, print out for me, and we just put this one. They said yes, we are done with that line. So we want to go to the second line. Then we're gonna say welcome to C++. Then we put semicolon. So we are done with this line. That's what we actually do. So that is why it sends everything in the same line for us. It just sent to the same line because we said we are in our code. We just said we are done with this particular stuff here, and let's go to another line. So we are done with this particular stuff here. But that's exactly what we tell the compiler. That's why it's printing everything in the same line for us. That's why it does not follow the rules or anything. So this is how it's going to print it out for us. So how am I going to send this one to the next line? This is what I'm going to do. First, you have to indicate it here that cancel this one here, and go type angle brackets and go type std andl, and you're going to indicate it here again, std andl. Fine. So now if we should run this code, it's gonna give us something else. So let's click and run. We're gonna run again and build then GCC. Okay, good. Our result is fine. No, I should not do this. Click on the stamina, then click on enter. Then let me clear the screen, or I can leave the screen alone if I feel like. So type the same thing you did again, dot slash code lab, and press enter. The result is different. You guys see the result is different. This is printed on the next line for us, but this one is printed on the same line. Usually that this XCDEN means that I am done with this particular line. This particular line. Even if it is long, no matter how long it is, I am done with that particular line. So anything you have made, anything you have made, is going to send it to the next line for you. So that is the work of this one, meaning that I am done with this particular line 7. So anything that comes next should be sent to the next line. So that is the reason why we have this next. Welcome to C++ Code Lab. So that's the reason why we have it in the next line. And this one here, if we have another code here, it's going to do the same thing for us. So let's do SDC out and how are you? So how are you? Or let's leave blank lines. And now this code is good. So now let's try and run the binary and let's try and formulate the results. What do you think is gonna be the result? And okay, good. So now let's try and run it. So we're gonna see the results. Okay. Good, fine. So click on this, then try and run it again. You can drag this top up so you can see every code. You can drag it up, you can feel free to do it also if you feel like. And next thing we're gonna do is type dot slash code lab, then press enter. So of course it brings to the next line. I told you guys, because this stuff here is actually saying that we are done with this line 8. So whenever any code we have next should send to the next line. So I don't want any code again in line 8. That's what this means. Before actually give this thing space. It was space before, so like this before. Let me try and give so you can understand. That's why this stuff is having space here. But let me clear this stuff off. I should not have closed that. I shouldn't have closed it, so I'll be able to explain it. But now I'll try and bring that. I'll try and bring it up again. What should I do? So let's say we have another code here. So we have another one, and let's put x3. What's gonna happen here? Can you just think it through? What's gonna happen over here? We did not have this here. We have another one here. What's gonna happen? Let's try and run it. So you can just think and give the results. Okay. Should I give you time to think? Okay, let's just save it. Let's just opportunity to save it. Okay, good. Let's run it and build that and build with GCC. Sorry. Okay, good. So now let's run the binary. Okay, dot slash code in lab. Fine. So let's press enter. What happened here? Of course, it sent code habit, which is this one, is printed in the same line with hello. How are you? I mean, because we did not have xtdangl, which means next line. So we do not have it here. So that's why it's sending it. It's bringing it together for us. Like it's making it together for us. That's why it's making it together for us. As me we have xtdc in there, it will send it to the next line. So that's the work of xtdc line. It sends the next print out statement to the next line for you. So that's actual the work. And the other time here, let's say we have space here. We have space. Okay, let's look at our code look. Okay, let's say we join everything together. I'll try and join everything together. If I should save it right now. Okay, I actually would I'll explain that to you. I'm coming. And let me save it. Good. And okay. Let me clear the terminal. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run the code again. To generate another binary format, another binary code, because I want another format for. Okay, good, successful, fine. Then let's check what is inside of this code in this binary file. What am I typing? My goodness. What the heck am I typing? So now I'm gonna type /code, then lab. Then after that I'll click on enter. You see, my code is very bad. I hope everything joins together. Doesn't make sense. Like, see, can you read this stuff here? They are just joined together and it really don't make sense and it's not giving sense. So let's make this look a little bit neat. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do it. So let me leave it alone. So I'm gonna do. Once you are done with this particular line, you can just put space. Click on this particular place here and pick on space. And once you are done here, you can just click on space here too. Space and here too. Space. You see that whenever you print this on finish, it sends immediate text. It sends it. That's the compiler. It sends the immediate text to the next line. But if you should add space here, it will surely add space for us here. If you should add space here, it will surely add next space to the next one here. So if you should add space here, you surely add space to the next one. Now let's try and save it, and you can just click on Ctrl S to save. I don't know why I'm saving. I should not be saving, but I'll do that later. It's supposed to be auto saving. So now I'm gonna run the code again, and I'm gonna click on terminal, then run and build tasks. So let's build with GCC. So now you're gonna see our code is gonna look a little bit neat, though not really like space like this next line. So now we're done in this, and now I'm gonna slash dot this, then you're gonna write CODELLB. Fine, you see there is space in your text. There is space, see space here, which is this one here. There is space again, which is this one here. Sorry, hello world, welcome to School Lab. So this okay, this is it. There is space, which is this one here. There is space. So whenever you indicate space, it's going to show up the space in terminal. So, but that's the work of this double quotes and double quotes there. This is how actually you print to your console. This is how to print to the console. But most programmers start with, oh, you guys just like hello world, and good stuff like this. As a beginner, start with stuff like this. Hello world, or anyone like. But My first program was not Hello World though. It was something different anyway. I did not type Hello World for my first program. So now let me control the edit. So that is actually the way you print to the console. So that will be our first lecture, and I want you guys to play with this, just to play with this, just play with this, play with this, okay? Play with this and check the results. Just do whatever you feel like. Just play with this and try and understand it more. How the how the printing house works. So just try and play with it. You can just do how exactly. So you can just use. You can even put yours in your in one line and just do it to make sure to just get and understand how it works. So in our next lecture, we're going to talk about comments. Comments, though we won't talk about that yet. So now, since we don't use this binary file anymore, and we don't need it anymore, we can actually, if you feel like you can delete it, remove it. And so let's type rm. Then we're going to type code lab dot exe. You can remove it if you feel like. I have actually removed it. So it's not necessary and it is not compulsory. You can feel like. So save, and I think we are done with today's lecture. So this is our first program. Just trying to understand more about how to print to the console. And I hope you understand this main, which is entrance points to every programs in our C++, our main C++. So this is just the main, it's just like the entrance to every code we have in our C++, in our folder. Let's say in our folder now, the folder we created, every code we have in it, it is the entrance. But don't worry, we're gonna understand that more. So you know what this means, library. You know what this means. Your processor triggered what is inside of this particular library house. So this is just the processor, and the work of the processor is to check your code and check for the where you called this function. So this one now it is actually found in IO stream, which has the library of this particular stuff, and this is exactly what you use to trigger it out to make sure yes you are calling it. And I think that's all. So in the next class we're going to talk about comments. Okay, good. So now we are good and we are done for today. So you guys should just try and play with this and try and understand more about this. I think that will be the end of today's lecture. And I was thinking maybe I should give you something to do or not, because okay, you can just try and type your name as a practice and you submit it. So as a practice you can submit it in the comment section or in a particular group. That's C++ code lab group. You can submit your stuff in the group. So you can just type your name, your first name, your second name, printing it to the next line, printing your first name in the first line and your second name in the second line. You can just try and write your just short statement about yourself. Let me try and bring out something. So let me try and bring out something. Notepad. So let me just try and give you what you will do. So what we're going to do is that you're going to the first line, in the terminal. So you write your first name, send your first name to the terminal. Your second name, or let's say your last name, which is your last name, to the second terminal, to the second line in the terminal. I mean, so this will be in the first line. This will be in the first line, and this will be in the second line. So you're going to write like this. First name, you can just write your name is Michael, and this one is Eri and Israel. So you can just type something simple, or just to create something simple programs. So you just create a simple program. No, I'm not using this escape. So in the next line, you're gonna type Your age, you can just pick your age. I don't care. I don't need your age. Your age, or you can just type I am dash years years old. So you're gonna print this one to the first line. Like this particular code is gonna have this one here. This particular code is gonna have this one here. So this third one is gonna have this one here. So just for practice, just for practice. So that's all. Thank you very much. Bye. Thanks for watching and spending your time with me or spending your time with this tutorial. Thank you. Bye. Take care.